everybody, it's your boy Jack, and today in this video I want to welcome you to this special edition unboxing video for the Comic Bento subscription box. To be honest, I got this box because I know Comic Bento is unfortunately no longer an active subscription box company, meaning that they're not bringing out new boxes and everything, and they're actually trying to clear out their inventory and everything. So I decided to get this month's box, which I believe is like one of the fall 2017 boxes and everything. So I'm excited to see what's in it. For those of you who don't know what Comic Bento is, it was one of the subscription boxes I was sort of looking into and everything. But this subscription box, you get, I believe, 5 to 7-ish graphic novels and everything, depending on the month's theme and everything. So yeah, I was interested in getting this box and everything, but the one thing that always sort of like the one thing that was always like, I never really wanted to get it and everything, was the fact that for a monthly subscription box, like I don't feel like I could ever do it recurring, so and everything, just because there's so much to read there. But I felt like this was a good opportunity and everything. So yeah, if you're interested in buying this box, I'll leave all the pricing information down below in the description. But besides that, before I unbox this box, I'll let you know that all the pricing and information is down below in the description and everything. And yeah, like, it is sort of clearance price. So if you're interested, feel free to do that. So let's unbox this month's box. Or let's unbox this box. So let's cut the tape. Let's cut the tape here, open up the box. We got this air packet, and we got the comics, which are sealed in this bag and everything, which is good. I'm happy about that. So yeah, let's cut open the sealed bag here. Once you get the comics out of the bag, which is sported, you get the spoiler card. I will try not to spoil. Got the spoiler card there. Got the comics, which actually are technically graphic novels, but yeah. So let's dive into it. So the first comic here, the first graphic novel, is this one here. Boom. It is the Scourge. It's priced at $18.99 US, which is roughly around like $25 Canadian, I think. Don't quote me. It's by A.S.M.R.tist Comics. Let's take a look. So it's A.S.M.R.tist Comics. It's a tie-in with Valhalla Entertainment, and it's from the mind of The Walking Dead executive producer Gale Ann Hurd, which I low-key like hate The Walking Dead right now. Let me know your thoughts about The Walking Dead down below if you're interested. This is also a Comic Bento exclusive comic. And yeah, so this is, and lastly but not least, this is the complete mini-series and everything. So yeah, it is like a nice comic and everything too. But besides that, that's it for now. And yeah. Next up, graphic novel number 2 here is this one. It is Dr. Mirage. It is by Valiant Comics. It's priced at $9.99 US, rated T plus 14, because I'm reading that out, like, at the back. Let's take a look at the cover itself. I like the cover, it looks interesting. It's technically the death-defying Dr. Mirage. It's IGN's Best of 2015 Best Mini Comic Book Series winner. So maybe this is all mini-series, who knows? But yeah, I like the cover and everything. It looks really interesting. Pretty cool, and it's very heavy. Next up here, the second last comic, because there's only 4 comics, or 4 graphic novels in this month. It is this one here. Boom! It is Man-Thing. It is by Marvel Comics. It is priced at $15.99 US, $20.99 Canadian. Shout out that Canadian pricing. Yeah, it's a Man-Thing. Let's take a look at it. So this is by R.L. Stine. It says Man-Thing, Those Who Know Fear. This is by the best-selling master of horror, aka Mr. Goosebumps and everything, R.L. Stine. Looks pretty interesting. It's a smaller graphic novel and everything. This is probably the thinnest one of all of them, which is fine. And you know what? It's priced at $20.99 Canadian, which is a good deal, I think. But yeah, also it's sort of cool too because like I've read Swamp Thing, which is obviously DC Comics. Now I can read Man-Thing, which is Marvel Comics. So I'm sort of excited to see that maybe the differences between the two characters because they're very similar. But yeah, besides that though, lastly but not least, the comic that I sort of bought this box for, like the reason why I bought this box, because if you are interested, full disclosure, if you do buy this box, I should have said this at the beginning, but if you do buy this box, like, or any of the boxes or whatever that are on clearance, it'll let you know what, like, books are in this box. But yeah, besides that, the main reason why I got this box and the comic I was looking for was this one here. Boom! Archie, or Afterlife with Archie, I think. Yeah, Afterlife with Archie. Obviously, Archie Comics, obviously, but it is priced at $17.99 US, $19.99 Canadian. It is rated teen plus. It has violent, immature nature. I got this comic mainly for the fact that I got Jughead the Hunger recently and got the Jughead the Hunger Volume 1 of the series, which is great. I love I love that. It's so great. And wanted to get this series because it's also like sort of like a part of that kind of Archie universe and everything, and I really like the artwork and everything and the way that they drew it. So that's the reason why I got this comic, or like this graphic novel, because I wanted to take a risk and I really like how they did Jughead the Hunger, so I was down to take a risk with Archie with the Afterlife. So we have unboxed all the graphic novels from the comic Bento box, and honestly I'm really excited for a lot of these because like they sort of like line up with like Archie and the Afterlife and everything, so I'm excited to see each and like read each comic books or like graphic novels take and stuff. So yeah, so they have the recap card here. I'm gonna do it typically like a comic boxer recap where I go through each graphic novel, read the description, and share some of my thoughts. So let's dive into it. So the first graphic novel we have here is The Man-Thing. The Man-Thing by R.L. Stine. So the description reads, Marvel's melancholy, muck monster, and as you've seen him before, courtesy of the beloved author R.L. Stine's bracketed Goosebumps and Fear Street. After so many years of somber silence, Man-Thing has found his voice and taken Hollywood by storm. But when an ancient evil threatens his old swamp stomping grounds, Man-Thing will have to choose between his new life and celebrity and the old which he used to call home. Plus a bone-chilling bonus horror tale from the master himself, R.L. Stine. When it comes to Man-Thing and everything, I think this graphic novel looked really interesting. I like the whole idea of like the dual like personalities and everything, being like a monster / not being a monster and trying to like conform to regular life even though it's not, because like he's sort of a celebrity and everything. Overall, this description sounds really interesting, and I personally think like I think it's going to be an interesting comic, and I'm sort of excited to read it, and I'm happy that like at least we got like a Marvel comic, so it wasn't all just sort of like it wasn't all like indie type comics and everything. So I have to admit I'm happy about that. So the next comic here is this one, or technically graphic novel, but it is the death-defying Dr. Mirage. It's by Valiant Entertainment. And the description reads, a famous kid once said, "I see dead people," and it creeped the heck out of all of us. Now, if I could see dead people, there's only one thing I could do: solve crimes. Of course. Fortunately, Dr. Mirage shares this viewpoint as she and her Spectra site puts homicides to rest. Dr. Mirage talks to the dead, but only spirit Span Fong can't find is is that of her late husband, Hwen. Inside, America's favorite semi-retired paranormal investigator is haunted and raw. Used her gift to solve homicides and bring peace to the recently bereaved. But recently, when the big-time oculist with a classified military past hires her for a special job, Shan discovers a lead that might close her greatest mystery she ever tackled: how to get Hen back, or Hwen. This seems like interesting. It's like taking like the whole idea of around like iZombie or whatever to like a really new, darker level. I like how it's like, I like just with the cover alone, like the color scheme and stuff, it looks really interesting. And just looking at the graphic novel, it looks pretty cool. I like this whole idea though of like her talking to spirits and everything, and like the whole idea of how the universe in a way is connected. So personally for me, I am really excited to read this comic for the basis of like sort of exploring that and everything. And I do like that like Valiant has this type of comic and everything where it isn't like, it's very different and very like off and like and everything, and it really explores like death and morality and everything, and it has a really great dark tone to that, so I really do like that and support that. So yeah, really actually cool comic. And even some of the artwork in the back, I have to admit, just look at that piano being played and it's all bones, like pretty cryptic but pretty cool. So yeah, gotta give a thumbs up to Dr. Mirage. That one looks, for me at least, looks the most interesting, and like I feel like there's a lot they could do just within the description. So the third graphic novel here is this one, Boom, The Afterlife with Archie. The main reason why I got this subscription box and everything. Like, I have to admit, like, this was sort of like an instant buy after like thinking about how great Jughead the Hunger was, and like sort of helped me like push ordering the like Jughead the Hunger Volume 1. So yeah, like I am like probably most excited about this comic here for the fact that it's like knowing how like they really use classic horror, and like how they really use a lot of those elements and everything, like especially in Jughead the Hunger, and how in this comic here it's like I feel like and hope that they really use a lot of like classic zombie horrors and like pull from like Dawn of the Dead and like both George Romero and Zack Snyder's like remixes and stuff. So I'm hoping they sort of pull from there, because I think that'd be really exciting. Oh, and even like The Walking Dead and stuff too, I think that'd be interesting. But besides my thoughts, the description for the comic reads, when one thinks of Archie and the gang from Riverdale, horrific creatures hardly come to mind. Picture serene all-American teenager hijinks and wholesome fun and laughs. But what happens when all those wholesome teams But what happens when those wholesome teens start, eating each other? In these shocking, critically acclaimed reimaginings of Riverdale, Jughead is hungrier than ever and his best pal is on the menu. When Jughead's beloved pet hot dog is killed in a hit and run, Jughead turns to the only person he knows who can help bring his canine companion back, Serena the teenage witch. Using dark and forbidden magic, Sabrina is successful and Hot Dog returns to the land of the living. But he's not the same. The darkness that he brings back with him from the forbidden grave, or beyond the grave, begins to spread, forcing Archie and the gang try to escape Riverdale. But this is what I love about Archie's comics, because they're not focused on trying to make like a consistent storyline or anything. They're fine with having these really great one-shots and taking that risk with pushing themselves into different genres and different kinds of collaborations. Because I think for me, with Archie, I think that's what makes it such a great comic, because it still has that such great Riverdale, like all-American teenager vibe, but it manages to do stuff different there, and I really do love how they do that. this is probably my favorite, like this is my favorite comic, and I'm really excited to read this, just knowing how Jughead and the Hungers turned out. So yeah, I will let you know how that is. Lastly but not least, our final graphic novel is this one. Boom! It is The Scourge. This comic is by, or this graphic novel is by A.S.M.R.tist Comics and everything, and yeah. And besides that, the description reads, finally for me personally, an untreatable, fast-spreading virus is just as terrifying as it gets, and in fact, the virus turns humans into bloodthirsty gargoyles, and the stakes get even higher. It's up to one cop to these. It's up to one cop to stop these newly made creatures of the night to save the city. The skies of New York are no longer safe. In mere hours, the greatest metropolis on the planet is turned into an island of horrors as a virus rapidly advances throughout the city, transforming its citizens into savage, bloodthirsty gargoyles. Amidst the outbreak, one man, NYPD SWAT officer John Griffin, finds himself as the last remaining hope to prevent the cataclysmic spread of viruses from the island, locating his estranged son within the chaos and saving the city itself from complete annihilation. So this sounds really, really weird, but also really cool. And I love the fact that it bases itself in New York. I think that's just a really awesome place to really base it in. It's sort of one of those like disaster cities and everything, and I really hope that they bring in those like New York vibes and everything. Besides that, it does look really cool. Like, I think the whole idea of like gargoyles sort of replacing zombies, like, I think that's the thing that I find really fascinating. Obviously, you've got Gale and Hurd from The Walking Dead, like sort of piloting and like helping like steer this kind of story and everything. I think that's what's really cool about this, because I think the whole idea of like an outbreak and everything seems really cool. I like that she sort of has a bit of like a say in this. But it does look like a really interesting comic. But yeah, I do like this. I think it looks interesting. The art style itself looks really interesting. They even got the looking at some of the art style in the back. I do like that. I think the idea of gargoyles and everything seems interesting, but I sort of would feel like I'd want to know maybe a bit about how the outbreak started and everything, and why humans turn into these creatures and everything. And like gargoyles are a bit weird, but the story itself seems interesting. I like that. Like, I do like the story and stuff. Like, I know I've said that with all of the comics and everything, but I like how individualized they are, and yeah. I think for me personally, when it comes to, of the 4 comics, this one seems, although it seems really cool and everything, this one's probably like my least favorite, just being honest, just because I feel like when it comes to this comic, like, I think it looks interesting and everything, but I've seen so many like disaster comics and everything, so I'm hoping that they go like a really interesting route there, and like, yeah. But besides that, these are the 4 graphic novels that we just reviewed. Let me know your thoughts about them down below in the comments. Also, if you want my like final review post reading them and everything, I will post these graphic novels on the Libib, or like the library, like the online library app that I have, which is linked down below in the description, where I'll tell you some of my final thoughts about this comic, some stuff that's great, some stuff that's not. I already have reviews for comics such as Nightwing Bloodhaven and Batman Year One. So if you want to hear some thoughts about that, you can sort of follow me there. So yeah, but besides that, thank you so much for watching. My name is Jack Skinner. Feel free to like, comment, share, and support this channel, which you can all do down below in the description and in the comments. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good night, and bye!